Welcome to Keeping It Real with KC. I am your host, KC Phoenix. Okay, this story is the one that I have been talking about in my previous. For those who follow the Keeping It Real with KC podcast and who have streamed the show, this is the particular story I've been talking about since last year that I said I am going to get to. And I am officially doing it now. Yes, it's an old story, but I still find it fascinating. And I'm taking this article from people.com because like penis fish, this is another thing that I have that I hadn't heard of until I came across the story. And this was Texas man admits shooting his wife, but says he was sleepwalking when he did it. I have never in my life heard of sleepwalking in killing someone. When I had first seen the story, I was like, are you serious? Really? Everybody knows he's full of it. But then I did a little bit more research and I came across homicidal sleepwalking. It's really a thing. Homicidal sleepwalking, also known as homicidal somnia, because it's similar to somnia. Somnambulism. There we go. Known as homicidal somnambulism. Try saying that fast 3 times. Or sleepwalking murder is the act of killing someone during an episode of sleepwalking. There have been some cases in which an act of homicide has occurred and the prime suspect may have committed the act while sleepwalking. That's a lot to take in. Let me read this story. Now, after killing his wife in 2013, Raymond Lazarine told both his son and police he thought he dreamt the murder. While a Texas man on trial in Houston for murder readily admits he shot his wife, he insists he was sleepwalking at the time of the 2013 killing. Court officials confirm to People the trial of Raymond Lazarine, who is 67, got underway earlier this week. Mind you, again, this is an old article back from 2019. When was this article? November 7th, 2019 by Chris Harris. But I'm just doing this now because I've been meaning to do it. And I want to do it because, like I said, I find this fascinating. And even though this is an old article, I'm sure that for those who are like me who have never heard of homicidal sleepwalking, it's fascinating to you too. Anyway, back to the story. Okay, so where was I at? Tell people got underway. Lazarine has pleaded not guilty to the murder and the death of Deborah Lazarine, his wife of 35 years. Deborah was 63 at the time of her death. According to KPRC, attorneys for Lazarine say their client was fast asleep when he shot his wife 6 times, including twice in the head. Okay, now wait a minute. He shot his wife 6 times. Out of those 6, twice were in the head. But he was sleepwalking. Now, I've never, wait a minute, correction. My brother said I allegedly, I guess you could say slept walk, or I was caught sleepwalking once. I still don't believe that story. He said that I got up and walked down the hallway and started pulling the curtains for some reason. I still don't buy it to this day, but fine, whatever. When I think sleepwalking, I think eyes being closed. So it's difficult for me to process someone walking, being able to get a gun. Like, if you're asleep, where your brain is able to process where to find the gun, where to pick up the gun, where to do all the things you need to do to fire. It just doesn't make sense to me, but it doesn't. But okay, so he shot her 6 times, including twice in the head. They acknowledge he called his son afterwards, summoning him home after saying he had dreamt he killed his wife. The station reports that Lazarine also told investigators he had that dream, but authorities say the shooting was deliberate. I'm kind of with authorities on this one. The defense revealed in court this week Lazarine suffers from a medical condition which may have made it possible for him to know what he was doing. Made it impossible. I was about to say, wait a second, what? Made it impossible for him to know what he was doing, even as he was doing it. Our position over here is this was a dream and it wasn't voluntary, offered defense attorney Feroz F. Merchant. And we've had him evaluated. And obviously the experts are going to come by and say, hey, we think he suffers from a medical condition where it's involuntary. Lazarine, who owned and operated a successful electrical contracting business, had no criminal record prior to this incident, according to the station. KPRC reports that the couple's son testified Lazarine had been seeing a psychiatrist for more than 10 years and was taking psychotropic drugs he'd been prescribed. The son also mentioned his father sometimes drank alcohol, which is discouraged when one takes the drugs he was prescribed. If convicted, Lazarine could be sentenced to life in prison. People was unable to reach his attorney for comment. So now I'm curious. All right, so this is happening real time during this episode. I am really, really curious. What happened? Because this was back in November. So did they say guilty or what? Or are we still waiting? Because it would say the trial couldn't have lasted that long. I mean, hell, we're in May now. Let me type verdict. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Found it. Let me see here. Verdict or better. Yeah, let's do the local news. Okay. Yeah, they didn't buy it. They did not buy it. Okay, so I'm not the only one who wasn't buying it. They didn't buy it either. All right, a jury on Thursday found Raymond Lazarine guilty of murder in the killing of his wife of 35 years. The verdict came down just after 3:40 p.m. So, and I'm just quickly scanning this article because I want to see if they have any comments from the jurors or anything. Okay, the defense called it. Okay, defense attorney. Yeah, this particular person, the defense then called on Galen Machala. He testified that in 2015 he gave Lazarine 2 separate sleep study tests, and Machala has said he did have a lot of movement in REM. In REM, you are not supposed to be able to move. In REM, you are supposed to be paralyzed. Machala said, now that he's been found guilty, Lazarine could face life in prison. Sentencing, which had happened on Friday, and he was sentenced to 75 years in prison, and he was ordered to pay a $75,000 fine. 75 years and a $75,000 fine. 75 or 70. I don't get it, but whatever. So yeah, that's what happened. You learn something new every day. So sleepwalking, homicidal sleepwalking does exist, but the jury just didn't buy it. Just like I didn't buy it either. But it does exist. So yeah. Anyways, I finally did the story like I said I would. Thank you for listening to the show, or thank you for watching as well. Again, please like, share, subscribe so you'll know when new episodes come up. I'm working on finding my notes for the other episode that was going to be very, very taboo, and I don't know where the notes are at, and I really want to find them, or either I'm going to have to do it again from scratch and get that ready. But as soon as I find those notes, I will get the other episode done. But so far I've completed 3, and I will have these uploaded soon. And obviously you will see them uploaded or hear them because you will be listening and watching as you're doing right now. So yeah. Anyways, KIRWKC.com. Thank you again. Take care.